Hello there.
General Kenobi! You are the bold one.
Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? So a lot of people have speculated this, but I want to chime in and give my own evidence towards the fact that Palpatine was the one that killed Padme. In Revenge of the Sith, we see Anakin turn to the dark side to save his wife Padme from death during childbirth. At the end, we see Padme die by losing the will to live. At the same time, Palpatine was telling Darth Vader that she had died. He does not believe this because he sensed that she was alive before the duel with Obi-Wan. Palpatine was in control of everything. Anakin's turn to the dark side was years of patient waiting and putting all the chess pieces, if you will, together to turn Anakin. The entire plot of Revenge of the Sith is Palpatine manipulating Anakin from start to finish. In the Legends book, Labyrinth of Evil, before the duel of Anakin, Count Dooku and Palpatine talked about Anakin before the Battle of Coruscant. Palpatine wished to test Anakin and to see firsthand the depth of his anger. Unbeknownst to Count Dooku, however, Palpatine's goal was to see if Anakin could kill Count Dooku, thus proving he was powerful enough to become his new apprentice. With Dooku killed, the position was open. Palpatine spent years planning this exact moment and everything went to plan. This was his first manipulation of Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. If Palpatine was not there during the duel, Anakin would most likely have not killed Count Dooku, but instead taken him prisoner, because at this point in Revenge of the Sith, this is the point where Anakin hasn't tapped into the dark side. Then comes the premonition of Padme's death. Palpatine knew that Anakin would be with Padme. It is no surprise that after months of being away from Coruscant during the Outer Rim sieges, that Anakin would want to be with Padme. This was the perfect time to plant the premonition in Anakin's mind. This is speculated, but I believe it to be true, and here is the evidence to support this. Anakin did not tell Palpatine once about the premonition before the scene where he is offered the teachings to save Padme. Even then, Anakin did not confirm it. Let's think about this. How does this benefit Palpatine? It makes Anakin desperate to save Padme because he doesn't want to lose her like he lost his mother, thus opening the way for Palpatine to coax Anakin towards the dark side. Then we get the fact that Palpatine appointed Anakin as his personal representative on the Jedi Council. At this point, Anakin wanted to be a Jedi Master. His power in the Force rivaled most of the Masters on the Council, and he was the chosen one. He felt he had a right to it. By appointing him to the Council, Anakin expected to become a Jedi Master, as you had to be the rank of Master to be on the Council. Palpatine knew the Council would not appoint him to the rank of Master, but would still want his appointment because he could spy on Chancellor Palpatine, which ended up happening. This made Anakin resent the Council. He knew the only reason they had him on the Council was because he was close to Palpatine. Then you have the opera scene in which Palpatine tells Anakin that Darth Plagueis knew of a way to save people from dying. This is done in perfect time because if Anakin were a master, he would be able to go to the forbidden chambers of the Jedi Temple and look at the Sith holocrons to find a way to save Padme. Now Anakin needs and wants to find a way to save Padme, and Palpatine tells him of this and that the dark side of the Force is what he needs. Next, Palpatine requests that Anakin be the one that goes to Utapau and engage General Grievous. Palpatine knew the Council would not send him. It is yet another thing that Anakin resents the Council for. I do not think he knew it would be Obi-Wan to be sent, but I'm sure it's what he wanted. By having Obi-Wan gone, it left Anakin alone in the time he needed Obi-Wan the most. Then we have the scene where Palpatine tells Anakin to use his knowledge to save Padme. By doing this, he does two things. One, he makes his presence to the Jedi known, but he also lets Anakin know that Palpatine is what he needs to save Padme. He knows Anakin will tell the Jedi and that they will come, but he also knows that Anakin can't afford to let anything happen to him. While Anakin is in the council chambers, Palpatine talks to him through the Force, reinforcing the point I just made that without Palpatine, Anakin will not be able to save Padme. He knows this and reminds Anakin before Mace Windu arrives, so Anakin will be forced to intervene to make sure Palpatine isn't killed. The rest is already known. Anakin cuts off Mace Windu's hand to save Palpatine and Anakin becomes his new apprentice. Now let us fast forward to when Anakin chokes Padme. Anakin did not kill her, he only made her unconscious. After Obi-Wan cut off Anakin's remaining limbs and Anakin was engulfed in fire, Anakin was clinging on to dear life. When Palpatine says, "I sense Lord Vader is in danger," he foresaw everything that happened and knew he needed to assist Anakin. After he personally saw the state Anakin was in, he knew he could kill two birds with one stone. He needed Anakin. He wanted Anakin without personal attachments, as this went against his plan, and thus, to keep Anakin alive and get rid of Padme, Palpatine used the Force to take the life out of Padme and give it to Anakin. So, while Anakin is being made Vader and Padme gives birth, her losing the will to live is actually her life force being taken away from her by Palpatine to keep Vader alive. With Padme out of the picture, Vader has no one. He has cut off his ties with the Jedi and does not have his mother or Padme anymore. The only person in the entire galaxy that he has ties to now is Palpatine, and Palpatine knows this. Though, at this point, Palpatine does not know that Padme gave birth. Thus, Palpatine has now made Anakin his slave. Without ties to family, Anakin has no one, and thus will not try to overthrow Palpatine. At least not yet. As Obi-Wan states in Return of the Jedi, if Anakin were to have any offspring, they would become a threat to Palpatine, and Palpatine knew this. More on that fact, if Padme was alive, that would become a threat to him. So, this is how Palpatine killed Padme. Ironically enough, this theory has not been proven, but the evidence is clearly there. Palpatine controlled everything. Anakin's downfall, the war, the Republic being reorganized into the Galactic Empire, the banks, the Jedi's downfall. I could go on. This to me is why I love the prequels more than the sequels. This is what a villain should be portrayed as. But enough on that. So this is how I personally believe Palpatine killed Padme. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm wrong or right? Let me know in the comment section. Anyways, that wraps up this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.